Welcome to the Security Plant in Security, Colorado. This video will provide you with the minimum environmental health and safety, or EHS standards required to complete your tasks successfully and safely. If at any time during your work at our facility you have questions or doubts concerning the safety of an operation or activity, stop work and immediately contact your point of contact, security department, or EHS. It is vital that we all do the right thing the right way in order to manage risk and protect our people, assets, and the environment. Before beginning work each day, short-term contractors must sign in at the security department at either the main lobby or back entrance. In case of an emergency evacuation, we need to account for you. You might be asked to present the safety training card that you'll receive after this video. Please be prepared to do so. And finally, touch base with your security plant point of contact when you arrive each day to ensure there are no changes to the job that you are here to perform. All contractors must have an official badge visible at all times while on plant grounds. The badge must be worn on the torso, not attached to a sleeve, hat, or belt. Contractors assigned long-term to the site will be assigned a personalized contractor ID badge and a hand scan number to enter the facility. Short-term contractors will be issued a temporary badge that will be obtained from and returned to the security department daily. The corporate EHS department has issued critical EHS rules that apply to everyone, even contractors, at this facility. Some of the topics include complying with lockout-tagout procedures, wearing personal protective equipment or PPE, and willfully polluting the environment. All of the information you will learn in this video is covered in one way or another by these critical EHS rules. Food is not allowed to be consumed in any production areas, but is allowed in the cafeteria, break rooms, most office areas, or outside. Drinks may be consumed in production areas with a few exceptions, as long as an approved closed container is used. The container must have a lid so that it can be kept closed when not in use, and a mouthpiece that can be accessed without being touched by hands. Aluminum cans, glass, and ceramic containers are not allowed, nor are the styrofoam cups from the cafeteria. All food and drink must be covered before leaving the cafeteria to prevent spills and contamination. Food wrappers must be thrown away in trash cans located in areas where food is allowed to be consumed. Do not throw food wrappers in production area trash cans. Anyone operating equipment with rotating parts must contain long hair at or above shoulder height and secure beards, jewelry, loose clothing, and badges. Gloves should not be worn. When navigating either parking lot, please follow these rules. The speed limit is 10 miles per hour. Cutting across lanes is prohibited. Parking spaces are pull-in only, no backing in. Park in designated spaces only. Yield to pedestrians whether or not they are in a crosswalk area. Pedestrians must watch for vehicles as well. All motorcycles must be parked in the designated spaces in the main parking lot and may not use a spot sized for cars or trucks. And regular-sized vehicles should occupy only one space. Additionally, in the back or main parking lot, lanes are all one way from north to south. Obey the posted signs and do not drive the wrong way. Watch for people using the walking trail encircling the parking lot. And in the front parking lot, obey the one-way traffic flow around the island of parking spots at the beginning of the lot. If you witness any unsafe actions in either parking lot, please record as much information as possible and report the action to the security department immediately. The use of tobacco products, including cigarettes, cigars, pipes, and chewing tobacco, is allowed only in the designated area on the east side of the main building. Ashtrays and a covered sitting area are available. Please dispose of waste properly. Flicking butts on the ground is a fire hazard. The facility's Hazard Communication Program identifies the elements of the OSHA Hazard Communication, or HAZCOM, standard for anyone working with or near hazardous chemicals. The program includes information about safety data sheets and container labels under GHS, or the Globally Harmonized System of Classification and Labeling of Chemicals. The written program is available from your point of contact or EHS. An important requirement of the program is to maintain a list of hazardous chemicals in the workplace. EHS coordinates an annual chemical inventory, and this list of hazardous chemicals is available to anyone. The program also covers ways to minimize the potential for exposure, such as keeping work areas free of any chemical residues, wearing all required PPE, and washing hands when going on breaks or using the restroom. A safety data sheet, abbreviated SDS, provides concise information about the hazards of a chemical. Read the corresponding SDS before working with a new product. Please note, the specific 16th section SDS differs from the old MSDS format. Older MSDS had no specific format or requirement to include certain information. Since you may still encounter an MSDS at the security plant, you might have to search for the information you're looking for. All safety data sheets for products used at the facility are currently available online in an electronic management system. The flash drives located throughout the facility are backups and should be used only in case of internet or power outage. Read the container label before opening anything that contains a hazardous material and familiarize yourself with the hazards. Newer shipped or primary containers will have a GHS label with pictograms, signal word, hazard statements, and precautionary statements. Some older ship containers, however, will have non-GHS labels that had no requirement to include this information. When reading these labels, you may not find all of the hazard or precautionary information that you're looking for. Workplace or secondary container labels at the security plant will contain the same label elements as ship containers. We no longer use the NFPA 704 Fire Diamond labeling system for these containers. Stationary process containers such as tanks, however, may still use this alternative labeling system or may use other signs, placards, or written material other than a GHS label. It's important to understand that the NFPA 704 Fire Diamond labeling system rates health, flammability, and instability hazards using a scale from 0 to 4, with 4 being the most severe, which is the reverse of the hazard ratings found on an SDS. If a label on any shipped, workplace, or stationary process container falls off or becomes illegible, please replace it. Pre-printed labels are available in EH&S or other designated location. Before any chemicals can be purchased or brought onto security plant property, each product must first be approved by the EH&S department. Use the appropriate form to request this approval. The facility's Spill Prevention, Control, and Countermeasures Plan describes the procedures for spills. Spill kits are located throughout the facility. For manageable spills of a known substance, use the kit contents to contain and clean up the spill. If you open the seal of any spill kit, contact EHS so that it can be properly restocked. For spills of an unknown substance, or if the spill is unmanageable, contact the security department. The facility's Site Waste Management Plan details the proper procedures for managing, handling, and storing hazardous waste. Dispose of hazardous waste only in containers marked hazardous waste. Other waste such as used oil rags, aerosol cans, spent batteries, and mop water must also be disposed of properly. Dispose of these items in specially labeled containers located throughout the facility. And never throw chemical products in regular trash. This facility generates numerous waste streams that are managed through recycling. These streams include spent toner cartridges, aluminum cans, plastic and glass, white and colored paper, cardboard, and scrap metals. Confidential paper collection bins are available for sensitive material. When disposing of beverage containers, please make sure you have emptied the contents first. Do not mix different recycling types or throw any of these items into regular trash. This facility's stormwater management plan describes the procedures for protecting stormwater from pollution. Some common sense rules to follow include: don't pour chemicals down drains or sewers. Keep containers sealed when not in use. And make sure your vehicle is properly maintained to prevent spills and leaks in the parking lot. In the event of a medical emergency, this facility has a team of trained first aid providers. Summon a first responder directly by dialing 719-896-3312 or by dialing pound 6911 from a facility phone. Provide all the information requested to the dispatcher who answers, such as the nature and location of the emergency. Once a first responder arrives, follow any instructions that he or she may give you. First aid kits are located throughout the facility and are periodically stocked by EHS with basic supplies such as bandages and ointments. If a kit does not contain what you are looking for, come to the EHS office. Eye wash stations for flushing out eyes, and emergency showers for chemical contamination to the skin are also located in areas throughout the facility. If you have a nosebleed or cut, try to stop the bleeding. If work surfaces are contaminated, please notify your point of contact, the security department, or EHS. Several biohazard containers are located throughout the facility for material that has been contaminated with blood. If the emergency alarm is activated or the overhead paging system indicates an emergency, you are required to evacuate and report to a displaced persons congregation area. These areas are marked with signs displaying red numbers on a white background that are posted on light columns. If you are closest to the front of the building, report to number 15. If you are closest to the back of the building, report to number 9. Emergency evacuation plans showing these areas, as well as primary and secondary evacuation routes, are also posted throughout the facility. During an evacuation, do not go to the restroom or any other location before evacuating. Stay clear of fire lanes designated for emergency vehicles. Do not smoke or use tobacco products at any time during the evacuation. The smoking area is not a designated congregation area. Remain in the congregating area until the all clear is given to proceed back into the facility. For a tornado or other severe weather, an announcement on the paging system or other method will instruct you to go to a safe area. Safe areas include restrooms and hallways away from windows and the exterior of the building. Please report any near miss or accident involving an injury or property damage immediately to your point of contact, the security department, or to EHS. The sooner the incident is reported, the sooner we can investigate and take steps to keep it from happening again. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, commonly used in the facility includes safety glasses, hearing protection, gloves, safe shoes, respirators, and fall protection. Hard hats are required when working above the ground. Appropriate PPE will be worn in any area required, and at a minimum, safety glasses are required at all times when servicing, installing, or testing equipment, regardless of location. Tinted safety glasses are not allowed to be worn indoors. Please consult your point of contact or EHS if you are unsure of what PPE is required. Safe work shoes are required in any production area. A safe shoe is defined as a shoe with an enclosed toe and heel and a heel height of no more than 1 inch. Some areas require that steel-toed shoes be worn. Loaner slip-on safety toe shoes are available from the security department for any contractor who needs them and did not bring steel-toed shoes. Hearing protection such as earplugs or muffs must be worn at all times while working in or walking through any hearing conservation area. Earplug dispensers are available outside of hearing conservation areas. Wearing earplugs underneath conventional radio earphones is prohibited. Do not handle any insects, reptiles, or animals that may be poisonous or dangerous, such as snakes, spiders, dead birds, or even bunnies. If you are bitten or otherwise exposed, report the incident to your point of contact or EHS. Security plant ladders may be used if needed, but must be returned to the collection location and changed when your task is complete or at the end of the day. Ladders must be used as intended by the type of ladder selected. Always follow safe work practices such as holding a ladder with one hand, maintaining 3 points of contact, and never standing on steps that are painted red. When handling wood pallets, always use caution. Never stand a pallet up on its side. Lay the pallet flat instead. It's a good practice not to stack pallets manually more than 7 or 8 high, and the maximum height for a stack of pallets, regardless of stacking method, is 5 feet. Always be alert for powered industrial vehicle traffic in main aisleways. Use caution before rounding corners. Get out of the way of any oncoming vehicle. Acknowledge the vehicle operator so that he knows you are there. Fires are often caused by welding, soldering, and other operations with open flame. All hot work must comply with the security plant hot work procedure. Elements of the procedure include providing a fire watch during and for 1 hour after work is completed, obtaining a hot work permit prior to work commencing, and maintaining good housekeeping. Consult your point of contact or EH&S for more information. Contractors working on any equipment must comply with both the security plant lockout-tagout procedure and the electrical safety procedure, including NFPA 70E flash guard protection when applicable. Consult your point of contact or EH&S before beginning work on any equipment. There are numerous confined spaces in the facility, such as plating tanks, ovens, and bag houses. Any person entering a confined space must have the proper training. A permit-required space must also have an associated permit filled out prior to work commencing. Consult your point of contact or EH&S before entering any confined space. Areas in the facility with potential fall hazards include large tanks, lifts, and the hoist line. These areas are typically elevated surfaces or areas above 4 feet high or within 10 feet of a roof edge. Required fall protection may include guardrail systems or personal fall arrest systems such as a harness. Contractors working where fall protection is required must comply with the facility's fall protection program. Consult your point of contact or EH&S for more information. At the end of each day or when your task has been completed, please dispose of any garbage that you generated. Turn in your temporary contractor badge, if applicable, to the security department at either the main lobby or back entrance. And take with you any chemicals that you brought onto security plant property. Thank you for your attention during this video. We hope that the information presented will help you to keep this a safe and healthy work environment for everyone.